Hello everybody and good morning. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Oulu. It's about -10 and there's some lovely winds and I haven't slept at all tonight, so it's going to be a lovely night. So without further ado, I'll turn the camera around. There we go, this, and I see there's some machine tracks here already, so it could be that there's the maintenance machines are coming here any moment. Can you hear my voice, by the way? Oh, there they are. Wonderful. How cool is that? So let's hop in. Good morning. Huomenta. Can you hold this one for a second?
Yeah.
Yes. Wonderful. And let's go see how winter maintenance looks in action from the driver's point of view. Once I get my cables sorted out. Good now. Here and tässä pyörissä. Attach the seat belt once it comes from there. Aika rauhassa vettä.
Joo, voi.
Käännä sitä vaikka tonne eteen. Ala. Noin. Okay. Thank you. So we are now inside the machine here, and we'll start going. Thank you everybody at Oulun Connector who agreed to take me with them. How is the sound? Is there too much noise inside the machine here, or can you hear me? Hello everybody there. So we've got Buddha, we've got Jacob, we've got Shire from Netherlands, I guess, and we've got Brandon there also. Great to have all of you here. Sound is fine. So just tell me if there's too much background noise or anything, and we'll just drive slower. Oh, wonderful.
We can also shut down the window behind you.
It's open?
If needed, yeah.
No worries. So there's quite heavy winds tonight. It's been about 5 to 8 meters per second here. And there's maybe now 3 centimeters of new snowfall. So even at 3:30 they are plowing the main bicycle paths. And here the main route is actually going on a residential road which is dead end for cars and other motor vehicles, but it's a through drive for bicycles and people walking. Hello to Mexico also. Nice to have you here. It's quite bumpy ride here now. I hope the gimbal makes it a bit more smooth for the audience, whoever is watching here. And our driver today is Janne.
Hello everyone.
There we go, from Oulun Connector, and he was kind enough to take me with him in the tractor. So look at that. What is our speed now? 33. Yeah. So we're going about 30 kilometers per hour now. And there's Brandon saying that they will take your job one day. They're from Minnetonka, close to Minneapolis. And we are slowing down here now. So you're lifting up the front blow and using the snowblower in behind, so that we are not pushing any snowbanks onto the crossing bike paths.
Exactly. And
exactly.
Also not blowing with the snowblower.
Exactly, yes. So behind we have a snowblower also, but you can't see it much. Maybe now you can see actually. Yes. Yeah. That kind of a machine there. And you can turn it off, you can turn it to other directions if needed. And so, but without further ado, let's go and continue here. Hello to Maryland, USA. Nice to have you here, Drexkiller. Yeah, Brandon, indeed, it's important that you can turn the front plate there, and you can also lift it off so that you are not giving any snowbanks to the crossing roads, and then you can take care of the rest with the snowblower which is behind you. But you can also close it so that it's not blowing the snow, but it's only collecting the snow for a few meters, and then you can just blow it off. Yes, and there's a request from Brandon that I can try to take a video of that from outside later, but not needed now. So lots of buttons and things here that you need to know. There's a question how many bike route plows are operating at night in Oulu. It's a bit bumpy, it's a bit hard to read the comments now. I wouldn't have guessed that it's actually so bumpy here inside the tractor because the paths are so smooth.
Yeah, it depends a lot on the road. We're now blowing the residential roads,
yeah,
so it's a lot better than on the bicycle roads.
Exactly. And there's somebody already asking we should go to Rajakylä and pub called Kulkuri. Maybe after work. So now this is such a wide path that we need to already plow it 2 or 3 times. 3 times. Yeah. Are we going?
First part 2 times at this end here like 4 times.
Yes, exactly, because it's much wider, so we can't take it off all with just 2 plows. So you see, we're now going back on this residential road for just a moment, and then continuing back towards the city center. So how many bike route plows are operating at night in Oulu during a snowfall like this? It's impossible to say because there is 6 private contractors. One of them is owned by the city, the others are private, and they have their subcontractors, and it also depends on the snowfall and a million other factors. But this contractor that is maintaining the 125 kilometer bicycle path main network, they have 6 machines going on now, I think.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Yes. This part of Oulu is now Kynsilehto.
Yes.
Kynsilehto and close to Hinta. And we have Juha Haapala here. Nice to have you too. How's it going? There we go. Pushing some snow to the bank. Back up. And more. We'll be coming back there later. So these bike paths are so wide that you cannot maintain them fully with one go. So all of the main bike paths have to be plowed to both directions. So this driver has a specific loop that they are going to take now, and when they are finished with one drive of this loop, they will turn around and drive the loop backwards or to the other direction. And in case there's questions that I'm not answering, just it might be because I wasn't able to read the chat all the time, because it also goes away pretty fast. So if I'm not answering your question, please just ask it again. And Brandon is saying that since I spent my life farming, this view is very familiar. Please show the controls of the glass. I want to see if he's got a hydrostat for controlling power. Mikä on hydrostaatti?
Hydrostat.
Let's see. Can you put on some lights in here? Do we have any extra lights? Yes, not much. Here you can see some of the controls. And the nostalgia radio channel. And some more over there. It's wonderful, they say. Okay, let's continue. Oops, careful. Eikä mitään kiirettä sitten. Tarvii minun puolesta pitää ainakaan. Now turning around and going this way. Backing up a bit and cleaning what's there behind to be cleaned. Asking what is your morning routine when you're starting early, sleeping, getting up early, coffee, biking to work?
I usually wake up like maybe 2 hours before I need to go anywhere.
So they usually wake up about 2 hours before they need to go anywhere?
Yeah, or I do.
Or you do?
Yeah.
Some other drivers might have a different rhythm.
So then I drink some coffee.
Some coffee then?
Watch probably TV a little bit.
Watch some TV.
And go to the workplace and start my machine and other machines also.
If they know that other people are going to come soon also, they can also start the engines of the other machines too. So if I have the mic, I don't know how well it picks up your voice. Yeah, you need to be careful here. They were just asking how often do you hit mailboxes?
I haven't hit any mailboxes yet, but...
Yeah, so he hasn't hit any mailboxes yet, knocking on the wood. Okay. So they can hear you fine also.
Okay.
Wonderful. This microphone is amazing.
Yeah, seems that way.
Because they're saying that there's no background noise. They can hear both of us well, even though it's so quite noisy here.
Yeah.
And still amazing.
What is it? The microphone?
It is a brand from Röde, and it's a small lavalier microphone. I've got this furry wind protection on it.
Okay.
Yes, perfect. I'm surprised. Any idea how many cyclists use one of these pads in a day? So it is about some of the pads in the winter day like this, about 1,000, 1,200. Some a bit less. The lowest ones could be maybe even down to 200 or 500. So they are also asking, when did you find out that you have to work tonight?
Well, probably yesterday morning it was confirmed, but I knew that I probably had to work tonight, like maybe 2-3 days ago.
I see. And you can look at the weather forecasts yourself also,
Yes.
and it's then you can also guess it already yourself when you have to go to work. To ex-killers, you definitely need to come to Finland to cycle. Definitely. And they are saying that if you're not destroying any mailboxes, it's only traffic signs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So, do you enjoy your job?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wonderful. And Brandon is saying that you should really love your job, but you already do so.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And it must be really hard on sleeping patterns.
Yeah, there isn't really any sleeping patterns, that's for sure.
I can imagine that there is no real sleeping pattern here when you're working as a snowplow driver. I can totally believe that. I also myself, I tried to sleep a bit, but I couldn't get any sleep. So it was just in vain. So what do you do when it's not winter?
When it's not winter?
Yeah.
Well, that is a question, isn't it?
That is a question indeed, isn't it? Indeed.
Probably cut some lawn.
Probably cut some lawns. Yeah.
Cut some bushes, maybe.
I see. And then again, also in the summer, you can also sleep.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it took a while to make it so good, but it's perfect now, the surface. And still taking some more off of it.
Yeah, we have been told to always keep the blow and the blower on the ground when driving.
Yes, understandable. Yes, asking if you can put a different front machine there when you're cutting grass. Yeah, you could, yes indeed. And seriously, you would probably use different machines.
Yes.
And there's a thermometer on the left, you can't see it now, but it was showing minus 12 degrees there in the distance. Maybe you can glimpse, no you couldn't. But we are now in an underpass. How many centimeters do you think there's above our heads and the bottom of that underpass?
On that one, there is probably like 15 maybe.
15 centimeters.
But there are many that are only like 3 or 4.
Whoa.
Or even 2.
So imagine that there's some so tight underpasses that there's only like 2, 3, 4 centimeters between the roof of the tractor and the roof of the underpass. But yeah, indeed, Rob, there's snow for 8 months in the year anyway. Yeah, it used to be like that. Unfortunately, it's not like that anymore. So it's more like 6 months a year now anymore, which is a pity. I really like snow. And because of the camera automatics, the bicycle path looks much darker than what it is because the tractor lights are so good, so the camera adjusts it so much. And here we have quite a narrow spot. How many centimeters of extra do we have here?
Here we probably have some, maybe 20 on the tractor. And not much on the plow, maybe 2 centimeters.
Yeah, indeed.
But there is even narrower spot coming.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. We have even a more narrow spot coming soon. There's maybe 20 centimeters wider than the tractor, the previous spot, but the next one is going to be even wider, even more narrow. And live tracking, you can see us live on the website called oulunliikenne.fi. Anybody who speaks Finnish, please write that in the chat. www.oulunliikenne.fi. 6 months of snow sounds plenty, definitely for you who are used to having like 6 days a year of snow. Definitely. And then there's the question about how do they plow underpasses. Well, you'll see, because all the network has to be plowed twice. So we are going now in one direction and we are going later in the other direction. And we are usually always plowing to the right side. And when we are coming back from the opposite direction, we will be also plowing to a different direction. So here's a really narrow and low underpass. Wow, look at this. Moro, ei Patanen. Säkin oot hereillä. Hei Erno, voitko kirjoittaa chattiin oulunliikenne.fi web-osoitteen? Ja joku muu, joka puhuu suomea tosiaan, niin voiko kirjoittaa oulunliikenne.fi. Siellä voi seurata livenä tosiaan tätä kunnossapitoa. Kiitoksia. Good driving. So this is the most narrow spot, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yes. I hate it myself also because this is a really old one. Would you look at that? There's almost like no space at all. Look at that.
Check the plow on that side. It is scraping the
Oh yeah.
side because
The plow is touching the guardrail on that side. So this must be one of the narrowest spots that we have on our main bicycle network, and this is a really old bridge also. I believe this is from 70s or so, maybe even 60s, late 60s could be. We are passing the national highway here in an overpass, and it's so close to the drive lanes that there is oftentimes they flow the snow from the drive lanes to the bike path, and that's really difficult for winter maintenance here. Then there's question, monelta tuossa tuunissa alkaa työaika ja päättyy vai onko liukuva?
no, liukuva se todella.
Se on todellakin liukuvaa tosiaan, kun alkamisajat vaihtelee ja päättymisajat vaihtelee ja työvuoron pituudet vaihtelee ihan sen mukaan, että niin paljonko lunta tulee. Good driving they are saying, and Brandon saying that they love this. Now we can again go faster. We are going now 30 kilometers per hour again. It sure doesn't look like that when you're up here. Are we the vehicle number 5799? Do you know that? We don't even know that ourselves.
No, I don't know.
We don't know that ourselves actually. We are now going directly to west along Valtatie or the national main road number 20 on the southern side of Valtatie. And then there's a question, are plows for car road from different companies? So usually no, but in this case yes, because this company or this contract actually is only for the main bicycle paths in this region. And it's not only the city of Oulu, but it's also the state bicycle main state-owned bicycle paths, and also some main paths by the neighboring municipality of Kempele. No, we are not heading towards Kastellin monitoimitalo now. So we are a bit more further north. We are actually on the northern side of the river, Oulujoki. For the driver, what would you like better? Plowing roadways or plowing bike paths?
I say bike paths.
Yes, bike paths are better. That's what they say. So this is also a pretty narrow spot here. It is the Ajoneuvo 5798, says Erno. Thank you. So Erno is saying we are number 5798. We are now going south from the north towards the river and then soon turning right again towards west. Got the mirrors over there. So the bicycle infrastructure we are now on is a really old one. It's narrow and the geometry isn't that good. But here we have plenty of space, at least 50 centimeters extra. Going towards the river. And then we have Tom here also. Nice to have you too. So we got both Tom and Brandon. You are almost neighbors, right? Tom from St. Paul and Brandon from a bit west from there, if I remember correctly. Which one is it?
It's this.
It's that one. Yes. I see. As you see, it's still snowing here. What do you think? How many hours are you going to work tonight or today?
It of course depends how long in the morning it's gonna snow, but this road takes like maybe I'd say 5 hours if driving this slowly.
Yeah, I see. So at least 5 hours of working when we are going. Are we going a bit slower now than normally?
Yeah.
Yes. Understandable.
For one, I cannot see the mirror.
Oh yeah.
But
exactly.
It doesn't matter really.
Yeah.
I have to keep looking over my shoulder.
I see. So just whenever you need me to move, just tell me. They're asking if you're going to let me drive. Do not do that. I actually have never driven a tractor myself, I think, unless maybe as a child at my dad's brother's farm. I might have, but I used to drive those, what are they called? Bandwagon.
Bandwagon.
Yeah, telakuorma-auto, but what is it in English? It's a really an interesting all-terrain vehicle which I used to drive in the military. That machine is way too expensive for Pekka, they are saying. This beast is quick, haha.
It's like a tracked...
I don't know, if you can Google BV206, you'll see the machine that I used to drive in military. It's a really interesting off-road vehicle.
There's something wrong with the machine.
There's something wrong with the machine?
It says I should stop.
Stop, should we go outside? No.
No. Just keep going.
Okay. Let's continue. Ootko Oulussa? No eikö Juha tunnista täällä paikkoja?
Oh, it's the front suspension.
Front suspension?
Yeah. there's something wrong with that.
Something wrong with front suspension. Tää ollaan Koskitiellä nyt. Exactly Shire NL Bandwagen 206, a tracked articulated all-terrain carrier developed by Hägglunds. Exactly, that's what I used to drive in the military, but that was almost, that was like 20 years ago. Wow, time really flies. So, then there's a question about maintaining these machines. It must be difficult and expensive.
Yeah.
It
well,
is?
It is, of course. These machines in particular, these have been very, I wouldn't say good. They have taken a lot of time in the workshop.
I see. That's a pity because these are quite new still.
Yeah, there's brand new actually.
Brand new machines, and they've already spent quite a lot of time on the workshop.
I mean, a lot of time. My own machine. This isn't the one.
So this isn't even your own machine?
Yeah, this, my own machine has been on the workshop for like 2 weeks now.
Wow.
They still don't know what's wrong with it.
Ouch, did you hear that? Yeah, well, Brandon, we are not talking about the maintenance of the bicycle pads, but maintenance of the machines here. And these machines are apparently spending much more time on the workshop than what they should be, because his machine has already been there like for 2 weeks and they still don't know what's wrong with it, and they are brand new. They were bought for this contract that started in October. So they are asking if you should consider John Deere or Case.
I'd say John Deere.
Yeah, he says John Deere might be a good option. So yes, this is a private contractor, not a worker for the city. The company is Oulun Konetyö. Again, thanks for Oulun Konetyö for letting me join inside the machine and showing this wonderful slow TV to all of you. It looks like the machine is complex. What do you think?
Yeah, it is. I'd say it's too complex for its own good because it doesn't work really well.
Oh, I see.
But it is very good to drive. That is a plus.
Good to drive.
Yeah, very good.
Very good to drive. At least something good. So yes, this happens with tractors, new or old. Workhorses. Again, I'm repeating, it looks much darker here in the picture than what it actually is, so you'll see how the camera adjusts. This is more like how it looks like to my eye. But the lights of the tractor are so strong that the machine, the camera automatics dims automatically everything that's darker than these things that are illuminated and lit so well by the tractor lights. We have disappeared from the tracking.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Let's see what's wrong.
Nothing
seems to be wrong.
Yeah, but it might be just the tracking website. It sometimes loses the machines apparently. Tom is saying that they find that machines break down at -30. Now we're going down here. Do you think that temperature has any effect how the machines work?
Well, yeah, it does, but of course it shouldn't be that hard for the machine to work with lower temperatures.
Exactly. sorry to hear that. And we're back on the tracking, so it works again.
Nice.
Wonderful. And Jeff wrote to local government to clear the snow off of the sidewalk, and they haven't even responded yet. That sucks. Maybe you need a new government. And Erno is asking if the power station could interfere with the GPS, the hydropower plant. Well, I guess the hydropower plant has had enough interferences already this week, so we don't need any more. Tom is asking if Oulu has sidewalks. Yes, we do have sidewalks also, but that's a bit of a problem because many of the sidewalks look exactly like bike paths, and that tempts people to ride bicycles on them when they are actually not allowed to. But I can't blame them because it's oftentimes really difficult to differentiate between them, so to know which one is a sidewalk and which one is not, which one is a bike path. And Brandon is asking, what do you think about the attention Oulu is now getting from international community?
I think it's nice.
It's nice? Yes, that's a perfectly Finnish answer. It's nice. It's nice, yeah.
It seems we are doing something right.
Exactly. And we are now on one of our bicycle highways, which is much wider. This is the first modern standard one, which is built to usually 5.6 meters total width. And now we turned away from the river to north. Whoa, that was bumpy. So Finnish, the answer of yours. Give that man a glass of milk. Yes, so if anybody wants to donate Janne a glass of milk, we will happily deliver it to him. This is good PR. And remember, there is also a town called Oulu in Wisconsin, USA. Nobody knew about that it existed until Pekka came along. It has about 2,000 residents, I think.
Oh.
And the name actually comes from the city of Oulu, because many people actually moved from Finland to Northern America at that time, and some of them managed to name their local communities according to their Finnish counterparts.
My grandfather.
Yeah?
Or his parents.
Yeah, great grandfather.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They were one of those who went there, and I'm not sure, but I think my grandfather also went there for a bit. I'm not really sure about this.
Do you know which city they went to?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay, I see. Tom is saying that there's only 200 people living in Oulu.
Oh.
It's almost the same as in our Oulu. It's 200,000.
Okay.
Bumpy. Yeah, so if you want to track us live, you can go to oulunliikenne.fi and look for vehicle number 5798. I'm not sure if you can post links in the chat, but maybe you can just write Oulun liikenne in the chat, somebody who understands Finnish and knows how to type it, and then just add the .fi domain to it, so maybe YouTube doesn't censor the links that way. But I didn't see the link here in the chat, so they probably censor it. Onko sitä lämpöä pikkusen pienemmälle täällä? Sano vaan jos sä jäädyt niin.
Joo, ei oo jäätymistä kiinni.
Vaan laseista.
Joo, kyllä.
Joo, okei. Sitten. Sitten mä otan
ilmastoinnin päälle, niin se
Sitten mä otan takkia auki.
Toimii.
It's getting hot in here, so I need to take some of my clothes off. And we're back. There we go. Thank you, Jaakko. Exactly. oulunliikenne.fi. Those are the first ones that I actually see. So yeah, we have to keep the heat up here in the tractor so that all of the windows stay open. And can you explain the viewers why you are now plowing first from the center?
This requires to drive 3 times, so I can completely get this open.
Slow down now for the projections. And look what we have here. We have the projections here. Stop now. So you can see them there. There we go. We can continue now. They are projected from above or from there. Brandon is giving really good examples how to see the tracking. So you just choose the mode of transport, which in this case would be bicycle, as you cannot choose that you are a maintenance tractor. And then you can choose from the settings, you can choose maintenance and real-time maintenance vehicles. And we have a bicycle oncoming there. What is the time now? 4:12. Somebody with a fat bike. Yes, we do have fat bikes in Oulu. Oscar, yes, we have Oscar here as well. Oscar is a bicycle, a fat bike that Tom ever so kindly donated to Oulu. It's one of the first fat bikes ever visited in Oulu. I think in 2013 you had Oscar here, right Tom? And now we'll be turning back. We are plowing this path 3 times. No?
Yeah, to start 3 times. This one, it takes about 2 times.
Yeah.
Which it varies.
Oh yeah. And also probably depends on how many people there are walking and cycling here too. If you have to go like a bit to the other edge.
Yeah, sometimes. Fortunately, on my path, the people are pretty used to walking on the sides to avoid me.
I see. Brandon is having a perfect Friday night because it's still Friday there.
Yeah.
Live streaming Oulu and having wine. We have 14 viewers as of now. And here we have the projections again. see them.
Is it okay if you take your jacket off completely?
Yeah,
so
totally,
we can
totally.
Turn up.
Yeah,
on
just
the
a
heat?
moment. I'll first turn off the mic for a moment. And we are back. So there's a question if wider plowers are not an option so that they could plow the wider parts on one pass. Well, not really, because we also have really narrow spots here.
Yes.
And even though you can turn the blade quite a bit to adjust the plowing width, it's not enough.
And actually, this isn't the plow I use normally. This is a little bit wider, and this doesn't turn as much.
I see.
So we have to get it up from the ground in order to pass on those narrower paths.
I see. And Tom is asking how many centimeters have fallen, so it's now about 3 or 4 centimeters. And Matti has no idea why they woke up to see this, but they like it. I'm happy to have you here. Killer saying that this has been on their schedule for days, even though I announced it yesterday. But I'm happy if it was in your schedule. Jeff is asking if politicians are trying to make Oulu a more car-centric city. Well, some are. We also have the car wing here, but luckily bicycles or cycling or walking, it's not as much of a political issue here as it is in some other cities, even in Finland. So many people in Oulu cycle, use their bicycle every now and then. It's actually 77% of all population who cycle at least sometimes, and 42% of all our population cycles at least sometimes in the winter time, which means that it's over 50% retention rate from summer to winter. So even most of those people who drive cars, they also ride bicycles, and the people don't take it that much as a political question. It's just a question about transportation. Hopefully that answers your questions a bit, but still of course there's sometimes opposition to investments to bicycle infrastructure and maintenance, maybe even. What do you like to listen when you're working?
Sometimes I call my coworkers, and sometimes I listen to reggae or rock or progressive metal or something like that.
Sounds good. Nostalgia, they already said that. They all remember that.
Not really.
Not really.
As I said, this is my coworkers' video.
Oh yeah, indeed.
So nostalgia is one of my favorite genres.
Exactly, it's too nostalgic.
Yes, exactly.
The early days of bike lanes in Vancouver were very difficult politically. I can totally understand that. And we had a really difficult time politically in 1960s, 1970s, and probably still in 1980s. As the first investments, real investments and good investments in bicycle infrastructure in Oulu were made in 1960s. And that was a time when the city was growing rapidly, and also the post-World War poor Finland was finally rich enough for its residents to start buying cars. So it was also the strongest time for automobilization. And in our city, because of the investments and the wonderful traffic engineers we had at the time, because of them and because of them fighting the windmills, the tradition of cycling didn't die in our city like it did in so many other cities throughout the whole world. Tom is asking if we ever have conflicts with car road flows and cycling routes. They see that as a big problem. So can you, Tom, elaborate a bit? Do you mean that they are pushing the snow from streets, drive lanes to bike paths? And Rob is saying that in Vancouver, downtown businesses were really much against bicycle lanes in the beginning, because that would probably kill businesses, they would say. But that happens everywhere. People think that taking cars away or taking space away from cars kill the businesses, but that actually benefits them. It's actually much better for businesses, and the local businesses are cherishing and blooming after that. And Jeff is asking if there's lots of problems with non-separated bike lanes for bicycle infrastructure. Do I think that they are a good solution for some situations? For some situations, yes, probably. But if I understood your question correctly, then in our conditions, I wouldn't really use them if that would be possible to avoid them. If you mean separated from car traffic or motor traffic.
So
this is really narrow spot. Can I open the door so we can see?
This isn't narrow west, but this is pretty narrow, yes.
Where does it open from?
From here.
Oh yeah. So let's see. Would you look at that? Cat. Yeah, the illumination, Brandon, is actually much better. This is more like what it looks like. Remember, all illumination looks much worse now because of the tractor lights are so strong. We had an early morning walk. Yes, indeed. Brandon is admiring that man running there. Why? Because of the time? Or some other reasons? Tom is saying that this year they have seen rapid plowing of bicycle infrastructure, usually before secondary roads. But then the street plow comes and creates piles of snow at the intersection. Yeah, it is always a challenge. Because we are also crossing a lot of secondary streets, secondary or even tertiary class maintenance roads, streets, and when they get plowed, they are oftentimes pushing snowbanks on the bicycle paths, but they are responsible also for clearing them bicycle paths if they push snow on them, but that's really difficult to control. And Brandon is asking if this route that we are on is a prioritized route and we come here before other paths for a reason. Yes, indeed, this whole contract is by our prioritized priority routes only. So in this contract, this company only plows the most important 125 kilometers of bicycle paths regionally, and they have 24/7 maintenance and much more tighter limits and quality criteria than the regular first class bicycle paths or even the second class bicycle paths. So we have 3 different maintenance classes for bicycle paths. We've got this priority class, so-called super class, and then there's the regular first class, and then there's the second class. And as Eva Tanen is saying there, quite often it's possible to see 2 or 3 plows working together. Bigger one clears the road and 2 smaller machines clear the intersections and so on. Look at all the footsteps not filled in by snow. Look at all the footsteps they are saying. People are out. It's 4:28 a.m. and it's -11 and it's quite strong winds here. And we've got some maybe 3-4 centimeters of new snowfall now after the last plow, which was less than 24 hours ago. You can also see, if you click on the route on oulunliikenne.fi, you can also see when the route was previously plowed. Do you ever do donuts in the tractor? What does it even mean, doing donuts? Is it eating donuts or does it mean something completely different?
No, I don't.
Well, anyway, he doesn't. Whatever it means, he doesn't do that. Boing, boing, boing. Wow. And there was somebody on a bicycle. You just didn't see that. What time do bars close in Oulu? Well, regularly on a Friday, Saturday night, they would close. Some of the last ones would close at 4 a.m. But now because of COVID, I don't know. Somebody who goes to bars and nightclubs might tell me. Do you know?
No, not that way. I don't go there.
Infrastructure matters, not weather. Exactly as you said, Brandon. Exactly like that. Donuts are sliding in circles. Aivan. At least if he is doing them, he can't say it to the camera. Yeah. Oh, peripaikka.
Yes.
Yes, so we are making a U-turn. While we're doing that, fiddling a bit with my cables at the same time, so sorry if the picture isn't focused all the time to the best destination. Oops, sorry about that. And Evatan is saying that they think that bars close at 11 p.m. now. Could be, I don't know. There's somebody pushing their bike.
Yes.
I don't know why. Maybe it's broken.
Too drunk to drive. Oh, he has food.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Let's kidnap him.
Yeah. And Evatanen is asking which equipment I am using now. I'm using my mobile phone and a handheld gimbal and an external microphone. That's it, nothing else. Oliko tossa vapaa-ustipaikka tuossa samassa latuudessa?
Joo.
Ei tarvii, jos siinä on vapaa paikka.
Mistä toinen on nopeampi, niin...
Joo.
Laitetaan siihen vasemmin, se on käytössä. Kato tuo johto.
Try to attach a charging cable now to this phone. Might be a bit shaky for a second, not that end. There's again a bicycle coming. There they go. Yes, so I'd cover the cars. What are all the instruments in the cab? Can we explain it, or is it top secret?
Instruments.
Probably all of these buttons and so on, and joysticks and...
Yes. This for starters.
Yeah. Oops, sorry. Now it turned upside down. Just a moment. I'll need to turn it around. Sorry. Does it work now? Sound is still great though. Yeah, the camera is focusing sometimes on the window because there's some melted snow there. So I need to just hold it here where there is none. Thanks, Brandon, for sharing the link. Whoa. Again something.
Once again, the suspension tells us to stop, but
oh, we are not stopping. Yeah, YouTube doesn't like links. No, it doesn't. There's again somebody on a bicycle. So yeah. Welcome again everybody who's joined since the last introduction. So we are now inside a maintenance machine maintenance tractor in Oulu, Finland, and we are maintaining the main priority bicycle network. There's currently several machines on this one priority network, 125 kilometers regionally, most important bicycle paths in this contract, maintained by a private contractor called Oulun Konetyö Oy, and now we are here with the driver Janne.
Hello.
And again, huge thanks to Oulun Konetyö for letting me join in. Pysähtyä tähän sekunniksi.
Joo.
Pistetään tuo kiinni sinne. Ja sitten niin vielä tää toinen pää, tähän mä saatan tarvita tähän. Elikkä pidätkö tätä puhelinta ihan kiinni siinä, älä väkisin liikuta sitä mihinkään. Noin, kiitoksia. Thank you, and we have the charging cable now attached also. It's a bit heavy, so it might affect the gimbal a bit. And Brandon is saying that they've always ignored suspension warnings on tractors.
Well, one of these tractors was on the maintenance workshop just last week for that kind of warning. It didn't go over 20 kilometers per hour because of that.
Oh, so it automatically limits the speed.
Something like that, or maybe it was something the workshop did to it, but it was over there anyway.
Oh.
So it could be this one too is going there, so...
Ouch. That sucks. And Brandon is saying that there's 5 machines visible now on the live tracking.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. And Rexkiller is also seeing 5, so that sounds about right. And Matti is asking what kind of winter it is in Minneapolis or St. Paul area or Minnesota in general compared to Oulu. Rob is saying that it must take some time to learn to drive the plow so fast.
Yeah, it takes getting used to it. It's not really that hard, but
of course, when you're used to it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And Brandon is saying that half the time it's just a sensor issue and not structural issue with the suspension and so on.
Yeah. This one I think it's because the cables are broken or something.
I see.
They have been broken on all of these machines, at least the outer cord.
And in brand new vehicles, can you imagine that? Oulu has more snow and it's colder than in Oulu now, and they get big winter storms, just more sunlight because it's much more south. So Oulu is actually located on 65th latitude. What is the latitude in Minneapolis? Yeah, Brandon is saying that electronics are a bitch.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, canals indeed. They stop and they lift up the front plate, but there is a rear snow blower in the back, so they can use that to collect the snow from the intersection and then just stop the snow blower from blowing it away and just collect snow with it and then blow it away when we're past the intersection. Yeah, 45 north, I should have known that. That is the latitude of Minneapolis. And now slowing down not to throw too much snow in the bus stop shelter. In front of us there's 2 people on bicycles. Probably can't see that though. Oh, watch out. So like this kind of issue, they don't notice us. Now they notice. They were just fiddling with their phone. So how many viewers do we have now? YouTube still shows me 14 and it's been a constant 14 since the beginning, so I think that might be a bug. Oh, bum, 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 bum. A couple of more people walking there, just next to us. Oh, what's happening now? $19 US now. Distracted cyclists. Satire. Indeed. Just a moment, I have to fiddle a bit with my gimbal, so it might turn a bit weird. Been averaging about 20 viewers. We lost a few, it's kind of late. It's kind of early here actually, did you know that? It's 4:42 AM now. Having small issues with my gimbal actually. And K-Nels is asking what is the speed that we are plowing. It is anything between 5 and 30 usually. And now they are on the wrong side, yes. So they should go onto the other side. Sometimes it's difficult to realize that we have to plow to.
We can always pass if we move the blower away from them. But
yeah, exactly. It's really important to not to blow too much snow on top of the people.
Yes.
Hello, Tatiana. Brandon is on the computer and wife is watching on the TV in the other room. Yes. And Drexkiller saying that they will watch several times. Sorry for the gimbal adjustments now. Now it should work again. There we go. Plowing done right. So there we go. And again they are asking what do snowplow drivers do for work in the summertime here, but what summer? There is no summer here in Oulu. Yeah, but seriously, some people do construction works, for example, some do even lawn mowing and all kinds of stuff, and then they also might just sleep. Oulu is so much more badass when it comes to dealing with winter. You guys fully embrace it. Exactly, that's what we are trying to do. So winter is giving us so much opportunities. We are actually now going 40 kilometers per hour because it's a long straight section and no people visible. So There's something wrong with the gimbal now that I've attached my power cable to the phone, so I need to take it off. Maybe the cable is too heavy.
I do have lighter cable for you probably if you...
Yeah, we can try that.
What kind of plug-in do you
It's
have?
a USB-C, which is the standard nowadays. So maybe we can stop here and just let them pass, and we'll try to fiddle a bit with the cables. Do you run over invisible people? How could we know that? Yeah, that cable looks lighter. So
Let's see. Is it the right one?
yes, it is. And you can use that one. Työnnätkö ton perille ton kaapeli? Yes, thank you. It's just shorter.
Yes, it is.
Okay. I think that might be... Mulla oli semmonen jatkopala pikkunen sinne, että onko se siinä kiinni, kun on tässä? Saatko laitettua sen tohon jatkoksi vielä? Se pikkusen helpottaa, kun tää on niin kireellä, että tää niinku vettää jo sen puolesta tää gimbaalia tässä. Fiddling with cables a bit. Yeah, canals. People like to walk also, and especially when you see them when you're watching the footprints. Thank you for the cable. Yes, it's much better now. And you have to remember, it's not even 5 a.m. yet, and you still see people walking here.
Another problem of the glass.
Oh, so this is one of the problems we get here. It's important that we would see behind us, especially what the snow blower is doing.
Even the side windows, the smaller ones are.
Yeah, and even the big one. So we still need to.
Outside and,
Okay, we have to go outside for a second. Kaapelit, sitten mun pitää irrottaa taas tää kaapeli. Yes. That's the one. Let's go outside and have a look. And while we go outside, we may just as well have a look at the machine. Now it's my chance to take the wheel, indeed. I'll just run him, leave him here. Now that would be so nice. Also, it's important to look at the tires and the tire treads. These are much better for bicycles when they are producing this kind of track instead of the regular ones. There our hero is cleaning the windows. And this is how it looks like when it's plowed. And the snow blower, so you can turn that to any direction, but pretty much. And even if you are not using better tires, you could still get rid of the tracks with this snowblower. But if you're not using the snowblower, it's really important that you have these kind of tires here. And also these tires are a bit smaller than the regular ones, so it makes the machine a bit lower, so it can fit better in some underpasses. Brandon says that we are indeed stopped on the tracking map. Ollaan pysähdytty sinne seurantakartalla, että uskovat, että se toimii. So you see, it's real. It's for real. Yeah, so this is starting to be a bit too much for some people at least. Let's see how much there is. No, it's just like 2 centimeters, maybe 250. Oh, maybe maximum 1 inch of snow. and we can continue. Hopefully. Go and then this one up. Pistetään se vaikka sitten ensin. Pidätkö puhelimesta kiinni taas? Yes. Sitten tässä on tuo. I should have 3 hands to be able to do everything. Can you just hold it again? Thank you. Safety belt is really sensitive to not pulling it too fast. Wonderful, thank you so much. And we're back. They're saying that there's more bike tracks out there in the winter in snow at 5 a.m. than in a US city in a good weather.
Okay.
Imagine that. Okay, Nels, now I want narrated everyday public works at work from all over world. Wait, what? Does that glass have a sunroof?
Yes, it does.
Yes, we do. Can't see much now, but we do. Of course, I don't know why they do have that, because we don't have sun here in Oulu.
Exactly. So these machines aren't really
not suitable for yeah, exactly. They are not done for Oulu. How much wind is there, is Tom asking, and I believe, looking at the weather forecast, it was between 5 and even 10 meters per second. 10 meters per second would be 36 kilometers an hour. So it is really, it's accumulating the snow and making the snow build up in some places more than some others, depending how exposed areas you have and so on. Rob, yes, this plow is grouped. You should have been able to see them. Small ridges on the surface. They are there. Now we were going 36 kilometers per hour, 37. I have to slow down because there's an intersection or junction here, crossing bad path. They are saying it's a roof for Northern Lights.
Yeah, probably.
It is, Tom, it is a pretty fast wind. How common is aurora here? Yeah, in the city it's a bit more difficult to see it because of the light pollution, but you can also see it a few times per year, even in the city, sometimes even in the city center. But once you go out in the wilderness, it's so much more easy to see them and spot them. But it's not happening every day, but especially when you go to the wilderness and just like 100-200 kilometers east and north or northeast from Oulu, you start to see them really often already.
Yeah, actually, if you go just 45 kilometers to the
east. Yes, indeed.
That's completely different scenario.
It is.
Most of the winter nights when you don't have clouds, you will see them.
Yes.
On the northern side at least.
Exactly. But here in the city it's so much more difficult because of the light pollution.
Yes. But actually last winter I was on the Pylkäsjärvi. And even though there is a lot of light pollution near it, I was able to see the whole skyward of Northern Lights.
That's beautiful.
And those were bright enough for a bad phone camera to capture.
So then they are really good ones indeed. And Brandon is saying that he is planning to go 40 kilometers east of Oulu one day. In the next year or two. Yeah, well, you'd better. So when you're coming, we can also go a bit further if you want. On bikes. Yeah, there's a question if this path is near businesses and residences. Yes, it is. There's a big sports area right next to us on the right, and then there's a big residential area with apartment buildings just over there. You just can't see it now. If you would be looking this and on the map, you would see it. And now on the left-hand side, we have a lot of industrial and commercial buildings. Turning a bit back again. In the US, the plow driver would never be conscious about another bike path in the section, and it would just be a disaster.
Oh. Yeah.
Sam, you know.
Unfortunately, there is a couple of drivers in Oulu too that are like that.
But they work for other contractors.
Yes.
Of course. Piana menee ikkunat lukkoon tällä. Jos tarvii pistää lämpöä isommalle, niin pistä vaan. Mun puolesta ei tarvitse tosiaankaan, mutta siis jos se helpottaa sun työtä, niin anna mennä vaan.
Taitaa olla täysillä jo. Se paljon tästä kun menee. Lähinnä se on se kuuru, mihin voi auttaa tuo.
Kyllä.
Tässähän on mukaan joku ilmastoinnin tapainen, mutta ei se niinku oikeesti tee mitään.
Eipä tietenkin. And Sam is saying that, Tom, we need to pool our funds and get these guys to Minneapolis. Haluavat meidät hommiin Minneapolikseen. Just pysähyt hetkeksi. Yes. I'm testing a bit with the camera. No, this is too much. And it doesn't focus. Even for camera. Okay. And then there's one Finnish guy commenting that sorry, but they want to keep us here in Oulu. Right on, Tom, indeed. Kilometers per hour. Wow, imagine that. You really need good infrastructure to be able to do that even momentarily. Again, somebody walking. Sam is asking that they know the answer already probably, but how often do we use salt? We do not use salt. Period. Seriously, when it's really early winter or late autumn or really late spring, we might use potassium formiate solution to prevent black eyes, but that's it. Rock salt, never ever anywhere. On some national highways, the state uses some calcium chloride solution, brine, sometimes, but that's also quite rare. First of all, salt wouldn't be effective in these temperatures, and then again it's a huge environmental disaster, and then it would also destroy your bicycles and so on. It might be good for some other conditions, but for us, I'm really happy that we don't use that. You can't unhear the Enterprise at warp speed from the original Star Trek compared to the tire noise. Eiköhän lähetä klassilla vähän varppinopeuteen.
Absolutely.
Indeed. So I actually heard in a
Are we getting up? No.
Are we getting stuck? No, we are not. He's just joking, I guess. But a bit, yes. It's struggling a bit now. Now we got to go. And we'll continue. Yeah, so in this one Congress I heard this one guy who was trying to remember where it was. But anyway, somebody was saying that at the current salination rate 50% of the lakes in Minnesota can no 2050 because there's so much salt wash off from roads. So imagine that. Brandon is asking if you always have the front wheel assist on.
What? Oh, front wheel suspension.
Front wheel assist or front wheel suspension or steering, or what's that? Let's see if we get a clarification for that question. De-icing salt here is ruining our lakes in Minnesota. It is one of the biggest salt users in the nation. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Oh, yeah. You're probably testing the four-wheel drive, right?
Yeah. Do you mean the four-wheel drive? Yes, exactly. That's it.
Yes, always. This machine cannot move on two-wheel if you have the snowblower on back.
I see. So did you hear that? Always when you're using the snowblower on the back, this machine can't even move if you're not using the four-wheel drive. Hyvä, auraa lumet vaan ajoradalle. Auraa lumet ajoradalle, sinne vaan. Kerrankin niinpä. Yeah, it makes sense to use the four-wheel drive because of weight distribution and such.
Faults.
Yes, indeed.
Kind of faults.
How much snow from the whole storm expected? We don't know actually, because we don't know when it's going to end and how much of it is going to come here. As most of the snow is coming to a bit more south from Oulu when I was looking at the weather forecast a bit, but it's not going to be a huge amount of snow. There's just going to be quite strong winds and it's going to continue to snow for a longish time, but the actual amount of the snow isn't going to be too much. Just a few centimeters, I believe. Yeah, the windows are getting full of snow again. Taipuu. Nyt jos pystyt pysähtymään sekunniksi. Just adjust the camera a bit. No, not that one. That one. This one. Let's try this. Oops, you missed the sign again. Damn it. Weather.com sanoo, että it's saying potential disruption due to snow and ice for Oulu. This is just normal winter weather. Brandon is asking if I will continue my day or go to bed when we finish. I don't know that yet. At the moment I'm not feeling tired at all and I haven't slept at all. So I woke up like 20 hours ago, but at the moment I don't feel tired. About the driver, is he a night owl or an early riser? So I think you slept during the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
I woke up like about 12 hours ago.
12 hours ago, yeah. It's about 5 p.m. that you woke up?
Yes. And normally I would have slept like 2 hours also before I came here, but now I didn't feel sleepy at all.
Yeah. You just felt ready to rumble.
Yes.
We are hauling ass. Tom, I do not drink coffee at all. No. I'm probably the only Finnish person who doesn't drink coffee. Yeah, probably. And Kay Nels is asking what are the longest shifts in storms? How long shifts have you had to work? Like what is a usual maximum? Not like once in a lifetime, but usual, like what would happen the maximum every year? Ish.
Well, at least 12 hours.
At least 12 hours.
But probably something like 15 or 17 hours. That's already long.
That's very long indeed. 15 or 17 hours can happen sometimes also. But that's also good money, is it?
Well, yeah.
Right now they can see 5 plows, however sometimes they disappear on the map. Yeah, I don't know if they are swallowed by polar vortexes or something like that, or if it's just the website dysfunctioning. And do we like the long days in the summer? Oh, we absolutely love them. You know that from the end of May till like September or something like that, you do not need lights on your bike, for example, at all, basically. It's absolutely wonderful to have the nights with no nights. Oh, there we go. And somebody was commenting on the plows disappearing from the map, that they just disappear so that they can do donuts.
Yeah,
Exactly. And then they're asking if the plow is diesel fuel and how often we have to refill. So these are using biodiesel.
Yes.
Biodiesel, and how often do you have to refill?
Well,
Like,
probably like after every plowing cycle.
yeah,
Or
and the plowing cycle here is going there and back.
Yeah, it's about 2/3 of a tank. So
How big is the tank, do you know?
maybe 120 liters or
120
something.
liters. This is a tight spot here with the traffic signs also. What is the gap between Pajuniemi Point to Luovontie? A bridge? No, there is a ferry. So it's a ferry, and now there is an ice road of about 7 kilometers. That Hailuoto is an island. How much time does the plowing cycle take? It's about 3 to 5 hours?
Yeah, or up to 6.
Or up to 6 hours even. And Rob has been spending most of 1 year in Yellowknife in Canada, about the same latitude as Oulu. Summers are amazing. I would love to go there someday. They are saying that the class 460 has a 190 liter tank. Somebody already googled that.
90.
190.
Really?
Sounds a bit suspicious.
Yeah.
Maybe they do come in different sizes. I don't know.
Maybe because
Yeah.
I have driven the tank for pretty empty sometimes, and it has taken like 120 or 130 liters.
I see.
But not completely empty though.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
I see. Kay Nels is asking if you're packing some snacks and lunch with you.
I have only coffee.
Oh, there we go. Coffee, which is black.
No, with milk.
Oh, so there's at least some energy. And we knew that he has to have some milk.
Yes.
There is another plow over there in the distance where you see the lights. Maybe you see them or maybe you don't. And again,
It is a subcomputer.
Yeah. Another machine over there. Have to fiddle a bit with the gimbal again. The gimbal really doesn't like the cables connecting to the phones. Still no. Still no. Sorry about that. Competition. And Brandon said, there's milk, the rumor is true. And then there's a question, did the company choose the most fluent English speaker for this live stream? What do you think? Are you the best one in English in your company?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I think there might be at least one better. Maybe.
Aha.
I'm not sure.
So there might be even one that's even better in English than him is. I feel like that Plowing signed up for this job for peace and quiet because he's an introvert and now we are non-stop asking questions. I'm not sure if he wants to answer that question. Yeah.
I think it's always nice to do videos or kind of clear stuff. So
I'm happy you like it. Haha, the plow driver will have to deal with the world tonight. All 20 of us.
yeah.
Oh, there's some snow here. Who would have guessed? Where is Timo? Is he in the other plow? No, I'm sure Timo is sleeping like a baby or like a log. Actually 21 as my wife is now watching over my shoulder. Sam is saying like that. As someone who had to concentrate in a tractor, I can assure his mind is firing on all cylinders. He's doing his job to the best he can while processing conversation. Nice work, man.
Yeah, the normal shift also takes pretty much work of the brains because all the pedestrians and people on the bicycles and stuff, so you really have to focus on this job.
Definitely. And there might also be some pets watching us. Let me get
That's nice. What kind of pets?
What kind of pets? I should be eating dinner right now, but I'm fixated on this. If I could visit Oulu, a ride-along like this would be one of the highlights of the trip. And Rex Killer is saying, yep, I drove a nursery school bus for my college job. It's all about concentration. And Brandon's cat is here.
Oh, nice.
Brandon's cat also knows how to type Finnish on the keyboard.
Nice. That's not too hard.
No, it's not. You were saying?
I have two cats also.
Wonderful. We got cat people here now. Brandon also has another cat, but they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
The other cat doesn't give a shit. And Rob has some fish watching us. Which fish?
How fishy is that?
Indeed, how fishy is that? 39 kilometers per hour, 40 kilometers per hour. Yeah, Canal's illumination on bicycle paths is extremely important. And it actually is much better illumination than what it looks like from here, because the lights of the tractor focus on the plow and the front are so strong that the automatics of the camera are making everything else darker.
How is it? Is it better?
Maybe it's a bit better now, yeah. Now it looks maybe more correct, and I'm actually now overexposing it a bit. It's bumpy. So. And Brandon is saying that his cats are also watching Rob's fish. I couldn't believe it when you said you had radar controlled lights for bikes. Yes, definitely we do have. And that means the traffic lights. We have them both radar controlled, and then we have induction loops that detect the cyclists also. But radars are better because they can also detect people walking.
Those traffic lights on bicycle lanes, they were great on a tractor.
Yeah, it's good to know that too. So it also helps the plow job. You know, there's a bicycle in front of us. Sitten kun on hyvä paikka pysähtyä, niin säädetään pikkasenkin paljon.
Joo. Juoda pikkaisesti kahvit.
Otahan kahvia. It's time for some coffee now. And otatko ton piuhan irti? No. Yes. Now let's adjust the gimbal a bit. Now like that, and then like this. Ja sitten tämä. Pystytkö mulla sitten jossakin vaiheessa katsomaan, että onko se tuossa siinä mikä lataa nopeammin vai siinä mikä lataa hitaammin, koska tää menettää koko ajan vielä vähän sen akkua.
Siinä ei lataa nopeammin. Täällä voi olla parempi tänä toinen.
Osaatko sanoa, että onko tuo 1-2 ampeerin vai? Mulla on 2 täällä itellä. Joo. We're adjusting a bit. Yeah. This one. Where is it? Muistaakseni molempia pitäisi tässä olla 2.
Joo.
Show the coffee. Sitten pistetään se vielä kiinni tonne. Sitten kun ehtii. Ai piuha on jossakin. Siksi ei lataa vielä. Yes. Sinne taas. Yes. Kiitoksia lataa. They want to see your coffee. So there's coffee. We can't really see anything here, but so now. Yes. Tom is saying that Finland is like Minnesota, lakes and flat, except where it's not. Brandon is also saying that you should go to YouTube and search for Polulla virtual walks and cycling across Finland. There's some wonderful videos of virtual tours around Finland in on that channel also, so you might want to check that one out too. And Jeff is saying that the state bird of Minnesota are mosquitoes. It
Like
could be
Finland.
it could be like our national bird
Yes.
too. Apart from it being the swan, but it could be also the mosquitoes really.
Isn't Finland's national bird the bear?
Yeah, it could be also. When Finns left Finland, they said, "Where can we go that is cold and flat?" And then they came to Minnesota and Manitoba. I like that. Fuck the Minnesota state bird. Oh, mosquitoes are lovely. Sometimes. I don't know when that is though.
When you don't see them.
Exactly, when you're used to them. Because you get used to them. Because if you spend time outside with the mosquitoes enough, you get used to them. There's a bar here. Seems to be closed though.
Yeah. Right
Damn it.
next to my road. That's convenient.
Indeed. And Brandon is saying that the mosquitoes over there are pterodactyls. I guess that's some kind of dinosaur.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that. Did you see that? Another contractor had just blown a huge wall of snow onto the main bike path. And here we have traffic lights. Do they work? Yes, perfectly. Brandon, the mosquitoes and horseflies have migrated to Oulu. Yeah, we have horseflies as well. But maybe we soon have also Brandon the mosquito here. And there's a comment, really, Palma saying you are moving faster than I thought that you would be. Well, me too actually. I thought that we would be going at least a bit slower, but our maximum speed today has been like 45 kilometers per hour. This is a lot. But sometimes we are going much slower also. But there you see, it's important to build infrastructure which is good and accessible for all. Be it people on bikes, be it people walking, be it people with rollerblades, or people in wheelchairs, or with walkers, or baby prams, or people with maintenance tractors. It needs to be fast and easy and accessible for all, and then it can be effectively maintained. So here we can see again a wall of snow left by a different contractor. Boing! That was bumpy. It's all clear now. Tom is saying that you can run out the horseflies at exactly 22.8 kilometers per hour.
Good to know.
I thought it was 25. And Rob is saying that I should be on the roof and shouting, "I'm the king of the world." But I would be dead because of the underpasses.
Yes. And the mosquitoes.
Yeah. The winter mosquitoes.
Yes. They are acclimated to the Finnish environment, so now
Exactly.
they live during the winter also.
Exactly. How wonderful is that?
that toast, then the bar flies.
Yes.
Just throw you with the bottles.
Oh, fucking hell. I love this. There's a couple of underpasses here.
This is extra work for me.
Yeah, I know that. I heard that from Harry.
Yeah.
Harry is making this guy work extra. Who's the snow there? Sam, the temperature now is about -10, -12. Yeah, for the underpasses I should be ducking down, but sometimes there's like 1 centimeter or 4 centimeters space to duck down if I'm on the roof, so
very flat.
I would be really flat indeed. Even flatter than Oulu is.
Yeah.
-11 in Oulu now. Thank you, Brandon. Ducking down. Gonna juga edettää niemanda. Down, down, down. How many do we have watching now? -11 Celsius, yes. We have 21 people watching. Even though it still says for me, it says 14.
This part of the road is very bad.
It is, I know, but even for bicycle it's old and bumpy, and there is a structural damage because this is built on wetlands, and it's an old one, it's really bumpy. I don't know, you can probably even see that the gimbal is jumping here. How to pronounce Oulu? You say Oulu, 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 Oulu. So it's pronounced exactly the way it's written, like 99.99% of the rest of the Finnish language. It's pronounced exactly how it's written. Gimbal is steady. Well, at least it's partly doing an amazing job, and I can't blame the gimbal for not always working properly with 2 cables now attached to the phone. So there's the microphone and then there's a charging cable.
That guy he's going really fast.
Yeah, seems to be. There's somebody ahead of us by bike and we can't catch him. So he would be a good plow chaser. Or they... When do we get to the floating sauna? Well, when I want to go there. There's a couple of them in Oulu. One is private and one is crowdfunded. And the crowdfunded floating sauna isn't operating in the winter time. They take it off.
Is it still in Tuira?
Well, it's not in Tuira right now because it's not there. They take it off for winter. But the other one at Koivuranta is still there and it's operating right now, and you're gonna go ice swimming there too. But you have to pay like 10 euros.
Koivuranta, is it in Kärkö?
Yes. Right next to the cafe. Now we have a person in front of us cycling. And they should understand to yield to the other side. Oh, they just think that... If they're going fast enough...
Huh?
Are they going fast enough? They're going 21 now, 21, yes. Yes, my view is way worse than the gimbal. My view would be this. I'm trying to hold the gimbal here in a better position. and not to obstruct the driver's view and not to touch any of the controls and not to fill or block
the glass.
Yeah, that one too. That's a good point. That could be fun though.
Yeah.
Smash in the glass. So that's a typical cyclist. What is the driver's name? Yes, Janne. Yeah, they are saying why not wait and go behind so they could ride on a freshly plowed bike path indeed. But they don't understand that they should go on the left to let us pass. That's why we should be making an educational video about how you should behave when you're facing a plow or when you're meeting a plow. We have car traffic here on both sides.
Yes.
A taxi. This will make a fantastic reality show. Oh, look at that. My God, people. The Janne and Pekka show.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like an instant hit worldwide.
It's like the Temptation Island, but without any drama.
Exactly, and without any temptation.
Yes.
And without islands.
Yes. And
So
other people.
Exactly. So almost the same.
Yes, almost. But not quite.
Yeah. Tässä puhutaan sille. Ei. Sanokko? Ei kyllä väliin. Mä pitää se oven kiinni.
Ja liikkokusken tuolle puolelle. Okei, olisi pitänyt päästä toiselle puolelle.
Aivan. Ice road flowers. Ei pelkästään ice road truckers, vaan ice road flowers. Temptation Island, a super EU reference. I know that because of being in the Netherlands a lot. So apparently you don't have Temptation Island in the US. I guess. I don't know. Good title, Jet. What just fell? It was a chunk of snow or ice that fell from the roof. Se pyöräillä tuossa perässä.
I cannot see really.
Ei minäkään näe.
Probably, yeah. For long though.
Not for long though, we are going now 42 kilometers per hour, so double his speed. But now he can go much faster because it's plowed.
There's a cloud of snow behind, so
Yeah.
you probably can't see anything for at least 100 meters behind.
Yeah, exactly. 45 kilometers per hour, I guess this is about the maximum speed that we can actually do this, yes. Warp speed. Well shit, that's what I get for not having a cable TV, says Brandon. Well, I don't even have a TV. Why would I? Because I have a bicycle. And now an access to a maintenance tractor. Red lights, but as you see the bright light there in the center now, they've already detected us and it's going to change in a second. Now, there we go.
I cannot see the biker.
Yeah, me neither. Warp speed again. I'm not worried about the cyclists, says Brandon there. They are different from people on bikes. Exactly. Most people in Oulu are not cyclists either. They are just people who use bicycles when it makes sense. Or when it's fun. Well, when it's fun, then it makes sense. Thank you, Horse Raddies. Thank you for being here and watching it. Would be totally useless if there weren't any people here watching. How high is the snow right now? Well, elsewhere we've got maybe 50-60 centimeters of snow, and on this bike path we have now maybe 3 centimeters, 2 or 3 centimeters of fresh snow. Jeff is hoping that they can hopefully build good bicycle infrastructure on Mars when they colonize it.
Yes, I can go and blow the snow there again.
Exactly. And I'm sure Brandon can also go there too. And we are completing our first loop. And if it's okay, I would like to use the remaining battery I have to follow you on a bicycle.
Yeah, sure.
That takes a while to fiddle with the cables and everything. Maybe you can hold it again from here a bit. Oh, let's see. Tuuli ottaa noin vahvasti tuohon.
It is more windy than I thought. So how does this work? Is there a gyroscope inside this and it...
There's several electric motors in all of these joints.
Yeah.
But I don't know much further than that. That's
So there's like latitudinal and horizontal trackers probably.
There must be something that detects the position and so on.
It's quite interesting apparatus.
It is. Gimbals are really interesting. I'll just have to find this with my clothes. So just a moment while I adjust.
They should develop one that you put on your head after the bar night.
Exactly.
Keeps you straight.
Yeah. I believe chicken have one built in.
Yeah. So if you put the chicken on your head after bar night, it does the trick.
Just need to find my gloves somewhere. They're here. Wonderful. Gloves, and then I need to find a couple of more things. Light.
Pekka's bike is there.
Yes, it is there. Indeed. That one. Täältä. Eli nää oli molemmat kaikki mun, ja sitten otetaan sieltä irti. Noin.
Paitsi se siinä päässä oli se.
Se on tää, eikö se, niin tuo kaapeli on sun?
Oli tää paksu kaapeli.
Toi on sun.
Joo.
Säätöä. So just a moment while we adjust a bit of the cables and I pack all of my stuff. That should be it. And I have that one attached just a moment. Näitä There we go. And I'm back here operating again. So thank you, Janne, for all of this. And I'll be following you for as long as I have battery. Let's check still how much battery I have left here. I have 53% of battery because I was charging a bit. So now have a break. I need to adjust my bike a bit. I'm not ending yet, so I'm going to hop on my bicycle and follow him on a bike so you get a totally different view. So you can still stay here and see the same thing, at least for a moment, from a completely different point of view. Just takes a bit of fiddling with all the stuff and trying to hold the gimbal at the same time. Show the bike, I will, just a moment. Takes a bit of adjusting with the keys and so on. And I have to hold the gimbal steady. Well, not steady, but there's somebody on a bike. Bike unlocked. Now I'm trying to get my keys back in my pocket. And pack my lock. I did have now an extra lock here just for the heck of it. Not that should be good. And turn on the lights. And turn on that one. There we go, and then try to get on my gloves. It would be so much easier if I had a third hand. One more glove to go. Haha. We probably do not have enough battery for the full tour. There you see the bike. Wonderful. There's a good point in the chat. If I would have more hands, it would mean that I would have more gloves to put on. The path is pristine. So yeah, indeed. It's like this. There is Janne. Janne is going to go that way, I guess. Let's go a bit further away so not to slow him down any further. Let's go here and see what kind of donut he's going to do now. Off we go, I guess. And would you look at that, how beautiful it is. If he's going to drive again 45 kilometers per hour, there's no chance that I'll keep up with him. Especially in this huge uphill. There was another plower over there. You can maybe see the blinking lights on another bike path. We'll continue this way. Yes, I can still see the chat. I hope you can hear me also. But for a moment I couldn't maybe see all of the questions when I was fiddling with the bike and the lights and the lock and the gloves and whatnot. There you see how the wind affects it. Wonderful. Happy to hear you, that you hear me just fine. We are now going 28 kilometers per hour, 30. Sound is even better outside, yeah, but there's much less background noise here. Yeah, this single speed bike, it has a pretty heavy gearing. It has a 52 tooth chainring in the front. I can't remember the rear one, maybe 21. Zero wind noise, voice clear, video great, happy to hear that. The gimbal is still slightly tilted to the right, but maybe we can live with that. Not 62, 52. 52 teeth. But still bigger than average on bikes like this. It's 5:56 a.m. and it's -11, as you can see there on the green. Maybe. Best Zoom meeting you've had all week. I'm happy to hear that. Well, I've got to agree. I like this too. Yeah, when I'm going like 25-30 kilometers per hour, holding the gimbal with my one hand and just steering with one hand, I sometimes need to focus on not crashing into the tractor and maybe might thus miss some comments on the chat. This is a good interval training also, when they slow down and then accelerate and slow and accelerate all the time. I don't need a leg day. This is actually probably much less than what I ride on a day, on an average day. Maybe a bit faster, I don't know. Or maybe more stops and accelerations, I don't know. How did I acquire this 84-year-old bike? Well, there's a kind of website, kind of like Craigslist, kind of like Tori.fi in Finland, and then there's Blocket.se in Sweden, which is exactly similar. And I sometimes, just for fun, I'm searching for old bikes being sold there, and I happened to find this one. This was probably a barn find, probably judging from the bike. When I got it, it had been sitting in a barn for like 60 years or something. I don't know, so in really good condition. It had everything original, but the rear tire and rear inner tube were totally unusable. So the tube was like in 200 or 300 pieces, so it was pretty difficult to patch. But the front tire and front tube even still held air. So that was amazing. I did spend quite a lot of hours renovating the bike, but it's so good. It's so good now. I'm happy to hear that this is a delightful live stream. Thanks, Graham. Thanks for being here. And Ilta Caesar. Good to have you here. Did I change the gearing? No, I didn't. The original chainring is so beautiful. The brand is Svalan, which is Swedish for the bird swallow, baske, the bird. And it has decorations of that bird everywhere, even in the chainring. So I will never want to change it. No, I didn't pick it up in Oulu. There was a guy who sent it to the border town of Finland and Sweden, and I picked it up from there. It's about 150 kilometers from Oulu. I could have had it delivered all the way to Finland also, but I just wanted to go there for a change anyway, so I went there and picked it up directly, and I maybe got it like a day faster or something. So including all of those costs, this bike cost me maybe 250 euros, which is maybe a bit on the expensive side, but I don't care, it's a wonderful bike. Do I have a car, Jeff is asking. I actually do, and that's because of cycling. Because I love adventure cycling and cycling in new destinations, and those places oftentimes, unfortunately, do not have any public transportation access, or really limited. Could be like closest stop is 50 kilometers away, or the bus goes there once a week or something like that. So oftentimes it's not an option. But this year, I've used my car only once, and that was because they were plowing the snow away from the parking lot, so I needed to move it away. So that was the only time I've used my car this year so far. Slowing down. Let's get another view. Underpasses. Now an uphill start with this gearing. That will take a while. What will I have for breakfast? I have not the slightest idea. Maybe a banana and some muesli and some oat milk, maybe. Yes, there's one of the underpasses, or actually two of them. We have more than 300 in our city. And the next underpass is here on the left, over there. I'll have to slow down. So there is an underpass again. Tom, enjoy your run. It was good to have you here. Hopefully you'll get to come to Oulu again anytime soon. Again stopping for a second, and meanwhile now let's go. That was way too many seconds of waiting in the traffic lights, don't you think? Leg day for Tom as well. Okay, now, so usually people do not use bar meats. Most people don't even know what they are. Some people who do like fat biking as a sport could use them, especially those who do longer winter rides in the wilderness. They use them. Slowing down again. It's really wonderful to slow down for every downhill spot and then try to accelerate in the uphills. Lovely. The radar control works always, but sometimes they have additional programs, so in addition to the radar detection, they can also turn the light green if they detect an automobile on the drive lanes. So they also turn on the green light for bike path as well sometimes. And then the radar detection is still not available in every single traffic light crossing, and sometimes in the so-called silent time, so night time, you might still have to press the back buttons, which I really hate. So the back buttons exist probably here too, that box there. As you see, on most routes you do not have to use them. I hate them so much. What's happening now? Buttons is all that you have in Vancouver. Well, I guess that's a start. A horrible start, but a start nevertheless. And the next step is probably to have bike lanes. They just synchronize with the traffic flow. Yeah, that's what oftentimes happens. So Brandon, it was great to have you there. But yeah, indeed, do spend some time with your wife also. And we'll for sure talk later about this and any other stupid shit. I'm wondering how long the battery still lasts now that I'm not plugged in at all and we are in a bit colder environment than the cabin of the tractor. There's a lot of snow dust here now. the air, and it's making my face all wet all the time, which is lovely when you have minus 11 Celsius temperature. Stupid shit guarantee. That sounds fun. That's a promise. I should have a dynamo for charging the phone. Yeah, I'm not sure if they make them compatible with 1937 bicycles. Yeah, sure they do. But actually, even inside the tractor, the charger was barely enough to keep up with the power consumption of the phone when live streaming, and the phone would actually lose battery power even when charging. So yeah, if I want to use it with a gimbal, I really need to figure out something to that, because the cable was too heavy for the gimbal. Sam, thank you also for joining us. Sebastian, I can't do a wheelie with this, especially with this gearing, and only with one hand. And with my, like, the tractor would stop at the same time. Wind-driven generator to wear on my head. I like that idea. Sounds good. And greetings to Houston, Texas. So is Houston frozen? I hope it is. Now going again 26-28 kilometers per hour. How much it is now? 29, 28. Texas is snowing at the moment. Too bad. Sorry to hear that. Joking. But it's good to have some colder temperatures once in a while. And it would be even better if you could also shelter everyone and have adequate places for people to be in. Yeah, indeed, I would be also interested to hear what went wrong with the electricity in Texas. What exactly went wrong, if you know. So there was a question in the chat about that. If you guys know that. Rob is feeling like he's getting exercise, but they're not. But it's not too far off. I'll have some extra fitness on your behalf too, if that's okay. I want to say happy birthday to Kim. So Kim is having a birthday. Congratulations, happy birthday, Kim. So the power grid almost failed in Texas, and they had to make some controlled or forced blackouts. It was bad. Yeah, I believe that. I totally believe that. Especially when all the infrastructure, all the buildings and so on probably are not designed for those temperatures. And the insulation isn't probably too good either. So on. I'm happy I can give you endorphins, Rob. Yes, and the battery may run out soon. We've got 15% remaining. So I'll just see how long it lasts. It's wearing out now much faster than previously. I believe I had like 40-50% when I exited the tractor. Going to one more underpass. You're welcome, Jeff and Kim. One more underpass over there. And now you have no water. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry to hear that. You have some water though if everything is thawing, so you can get some water. Sorry, bad jokes. Yeehaw! They should make phone hot gloves. I'm not actually sure if it's the heat or the coldness that is eating the battery now, as live streaming warms up the phone quite a bit, I guess. Let's go over here. Looks really cold out here. Now it's just like minus 11 Celsius. So it's actually pretty warm. Now person on a bicycle and with a trailer. And there's a huge mall on the right side. I hate that place. And another maintenance tractor there plowing the parking lot of it. It's a dry cold, yeah, otherwise it's dry, but all the snow that is dusting off from the machine is coming to my face, and my face is all wet and frosty at the same time, so that's a wonderful feeling as my eyelashes are freezing together all the time. No, it was not a sled trailer, it had wheels, but those exist too. I've seen some sled trailers also, so bicycle trailers, and somebody just put skis on them. Wondering how much longer the battery still lasts. Done 2 hours and 46 minutes already, with getting some extra charge while doing that though. K-nails, yes, a kid could definitely use a kick sled on paths like this, definitely. But if it gets too icy, then we need to add some grit, some sand, some gravel, and then it could be difficult to use a kick sled. Yes, the battery is dying now. It says 5% left. So, I'll need to quit the stream here. You can't even see me. Anyway, thank you everybody who was joining me today. And please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know also in the video comments, not only in the live chat comments, what could be done better, what kind of places you would like to see, what kind of things I should do, and so on. So while I still have like 3% or 4% of battery left, I'm ending the stream. Thank you everybody and have a good morning.